What's up, guys? Welcome to Movie Emporium's first flashback review of 2019, where we take movies from my past, maybe yours, and break them down for your enjoyment. As always, if you like what you see, remember to rate, subscribe, check out the YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter. Comment below, subscribe, all that good stuff. Email endlapolo1138@gmail.com if you have any questions. So, for the flashback reviews, I've been thinking about doing this for a while. Instead of actually taking movies from my past, maybe your past, I want to take movies from everybody's past, movies even if I haven't seen that are really old or within the last couple of years. So kind of like I wanted to do reviews for like Split and Unbreakable and movies that maybe aren't that old, but I feel like they could be talked about in a flashback sense. And there, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to start getting into the Marvel MCU movies leading up to Avengers Endgame. So I kind of wanted to start off with that just to kind of give you an idea that flashback reviews will still be flashback reviews, but they may be stuff that's like little newer. I may do something like Avengers Infinity War. So, but we have Glass comes out in literally a couple of weeks. What I want to do is just take a look at the two movies that are in the Glass universe. This week I'm going to start with Unbreakable. Next week I'm going to do Split. But Unbreakable, if you don't know, is the story of David Dunn, played by Bruce Willis. He is a normal everyman who one day he takes a train ride. The train crashes, and he is the only survivor. Well, as a man who's basically an everyman, he doesn't think of this as anything special. But what he comes to find out is, everything in his life has been leading up to special moments like this. He's survived in certain ways. He's always never been sick. And the fact that he's a lone survivor of this train crash, it's an interesting concept of, superhero nature, even though he doesn't believe that he's a superhero. And it's just an interesting concept that M. Night Shyamalan, who directed this movie, is doing. And so we got this incident happening, his son, who's played by Spencer Treat Clark, his wife, or kind of like ex-wife, is in that nature, played by Robin Wright. And through this train, crash and so on and so forth, it gets the attention of Elijah Price, who runs a comic book store. He's obsessed with these types of things. He becomes obsessed with David Dunn's character, and he starts to try and nurture David Dunn. Every time David Dunn touches someone, he sees kind of their past or their future, and he can kind of start helping people. And Elijah Price is trying to get that out of him, but he doesn't want to do it, and he doesn't like to do it. And I think this movie, it's a fascinating movie. I didn't like this movie when I first saw it, only because it was a follow-up to The Sixth Sense, which was hugely popular. It was an Oscar-winning, Oscar-producing movie, and I just didn't feel this movie worked for me. But as you get older, as this movie matures and ages, it's actually a well-directed, well-written movie. It's one of the best comic book movies ever made, and it's because it sets itself in a real-world scenario. You have two characters. One has a kind of supernatural, comic booky feel of a character, and the other one is just like a basic character who, his bones break easily if he moves a certain way or if he has issues. But as the story goes along and as David starts to understand what his place in the world is, it becomes more than the sum of its parts. And it's just a fun, entertaining movie that has a great reveal at the end. You come to find out Elijah Price is basically the bad guy to David Dunn's character. You find out that Elijah Price is actually the one who caused the crash. He's also caused, an airplane accident. He's caused a fire. All these people have died. Nobody has survived. And so when David Dunn survives the train crash, it creates this world for Elijah Price, who is played by Samuel L. Jackson. And he becomes like a evil Lex Luthor style character. And it's just such a fascinating duo of people. And it's just a fascinating like yin and yang approach, because David's character also has a kryptonite style, flaw where he can drown in water, and it plays out in the course of the movie itself. But I just find it a fascinating movie. I find it an interesting movie. It's beautifully shot. There's something just real about it that you can't get out of your head when you're watching it. And just to see that, two characters who have been in other movies together, like Pulp Fiction, they play it really well. And it's nice to see that, Samuel L. Jackson can play a bad guy and Bruce Willis can play a good everyman, and just they clash, and it's just so much fun to watch. And you see Spencer Treat Clark, who plays this David Dunn's son, you see him like really start to believe in what Bruce Willis can do. And Bruce Willis is a security guard, which is even funnier. He sees M. Night Shyamalan, who's always, doing the Alfred Hitchcock stuff in his movies. But this movie is just it's a great movie. It's an entertaining movie. It's a fun movie, and it's a well directed movie. And I'm so glad that M. Night Shyamalan, who had this dark period in his career, is finally being able to get his sequel, which he's been wanting to do for so long, into a movie like Glass. Because being able to take the characters from Split, being able to take the characters from Unbreakable, and just putting them into a scenario like Glass, that's why it's in one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Because the Unbreakable movie, the Split movie, they're fantastic looks at superheroes in a realistic setting. And like I said, you watch Sixth Sense and you watch this movie, and they're almost like a perfect pair, almost like two, on a weight scale type of scenario, where you can just see the genius of what M. Night Shyamalan is doing. And it's so much fun to watch. And I can't wait to see how much more he invests into this franchise. And I'm so glad that he got involved with Jason Blum, because if he hadn't, Glass probably wouldn't have been made. So, but there you go. That is going to be my take on Unbreakable. If you haven't seen it, definitely recommend seeing it at least before Glass comes out, so you can get an idea of what Glass is going to entail. Like I said, next week I'm going to do Split right before the actual movie of Glass comes out, because it comes out in January, which is cool. But there you go. As always, if you like what you see, remember to rate, subscribe, check out the YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter. Email nlapolo113@gmail.com. Guys, please subscribe if you like anything you see in any of the videos I've done. I've been doing videos for quite a while, so I would appreciate the subscribe. Also, hit the alert button so you know when every time I post a video. Also, comment below what you think of Unbreakable. Tell me what your favorite part of it was when you saw it. Tell me what your favorite moments in M. Night Shyamalan films are. But with that, we'll see you guys on the next video.